Hello, and thanks for watching this Cloud9 ERP Solutions video and subscribing to our channel. In this video, we're going to go to show you an experimental feature that can help you fulfill orders across multiple warehouses. So one of the challenges we have is we have orders, and we need to create these orders into shipments. Sales order lines with sufficient stock, they'll get processed through their designated warehouses. But when there's insufficient stock, those balances will stay over on the sales order. So to complete the relevant order, lines with sufficient quantities, they need to be changed over to other warehouses. Now, if there's multiple warehouses with multiple lines, changing all these warehouses, it's going to take a long time. Not to mention, from a high level, there's no way we can really make all those decisions with all those lines. So the experimental feature that we're going to show you and give you a preview is called order orchestration. So what is that? It's the process for determining the best warehouse to fulfill these sales order lines. By checking against all these warehouses and automatically selecting and committing those lines to those warehouses, it could do it in two different ways. First, based on the shipping zone destination. So it determines the best warehouse based on the shipping zone or delivery address at the sales order level. Or you can set up warehouse priorities where you'll automatically decrement stock from warehouses in a specific order. So let's get started. We'll start off with a plan for the East. It'll be based on the shipping zone. We'll define that here. Then from there, we'll choose our warehouse. So for example, we know that this is going to come out of the Virginia warehouse. Notice we have the ability to maintain safety stock. If this is checked, then it automatically is not going to pull from this warehouse below the safety stock. The next thing we need to do is to look at our order types. Order types give us the ability to select among a lot of different preferences, the ability to determine what orchestration plan we're going to use for these order types. So we're going to go to sales order, and we'll scroll to the bottom, and we have this option for fulfillment strategy. Over here, we're going to choose destination priority. Now, anytime we have orders, and these are sales order types, we're going to get ready to orchestrate the system. We'll look at the destination priority here for these order types. So, if we write a new order, we select our customer, pick our item, and notice our warehouse is defined as wholesale. So, and we have 10 in our wholesale warehouse. Customer's going to be ordering 5 of these. And if we go over to shipping, notice we don't have a shipping zone. However, because we have an address, we look at the address of New Jersey. Let's take a look at our shipping zones. And we'll edit the East one. Notice there's new functionality here, which allows us to add states. We have the New Jersey state there. So while we have no shipping zone selected on the order, the state will associate to the shipping zone, which is part of our orchestration plan. And if we take a look at that orchestration plan, we open it up. Again, you could see the shipping zone defined there. And when we come across this, we're going to use the VA wholesale warehouse. So if we go back to our order and we go to our menu, there's an option, Orchestrate Order here. We run it. Notice we get this order orchestration screen. It shows our line items, our Acer laptop. We're looking for quantity 5 here. Our original warehouse is wholesale. And it's going to orchestrate this to use the Virginia wholesale warehouse for all 5 of them. And you can see the details below VA Wholesale 5. So if we click OK, we look back at our sales order, you can see that it's changed that line item to the new warehouse. So now, of course, when Virginia Warehouse, they create their shipments and print their pick tickets, and whatever process they use, they're going to pick up this line item and ship it from their warehouse. Now let's try another order example, but in this case, we'll have a specified shipping zone. We'll pick the same customer. We'll pick the same item. Once again, we're defaulting to the wholesale warehouse, quantity 5. And again, our address happens to be New Jersey, but under our shipping, we're going to select a shipping zone of West this time. So it's not going to look at the address, it's going to look at our orchestration plan and see if it can find a shipping zone for West. We open up that orchestration plan, we open it up. You can see that this is associated, strategy's the same, shipping zone, but the shipping zone itself is selected as West. And you can see here, we're going to use the retail warehouse. So if we go back and we select the order orchestration, notice it found the wholesale warehouse, and now it's going to use retail for quantity 5. We select it, and it's automatically changed that warehouse line item to retail. Now, in this next example, I created a new orchestration plan. In this case, the strategy is by warehouse. So what does that mean? Well, now what it does is it looks at the sales order, and we're going to create a new one in a second, but it looks at the sales order, looks at the warehouse, and then we'll pull from these warehouses in this order. Now, if we take a look at our order types again, and we look at SO, if you recall, we used a fulfillment strategy based on destination. So our priority is the destination. We're going to leave that alone. Now, if we take a look at another order type, maybe we'll choose sales order commerce. We'll open that up. We'll scroll to the bottom, and we'll change this to a warehouse priority. Now, notice this checkbox here as well. You can limit the number of fulfillment warehouses. So you may not want Acumatica to go through and allow you to orchestrate an order to get fulfilled from 5 or 6 or 7 warehouses. That might be too much. So if you have the stock, the system will go through a certain limit of warehouses where you can check it here and you can select. So I'm going to select 3 here and save it. And if we go back to our orchestration plan, what will happen here is our source warehouse is what we're picking up at the sales order line item. And we've checked include source warehouse. So first, Acumatica will try to use what you have in the source warehouse. When it runs out, it'll then go in this order, the priority order, VA retail and retail. Now, if we create a new order, and if we select our Acer laptop, this particular example may not work. And I'll show you, if we select our warehouse here, again, we're defaulting to wholesale, that's great. But it can work, but I have to order over 190 for it to start to search other warehouses. So in this instance, I'll select the quantity of 205. I'm going to clean out my database in the wholesale warehouse, but that's okay. We'll select as if we're ordering 205 here. So let's change this to 205. We'll save it. I made a mistake. We need to change this to our commerce. So let's write the order again. And again, 205. We'll save it. And none of this stuff matters. The shipping zone and the address in this scenario don't matter because our order type is specifically saying warehouse priority. And our orchestration plan is looking for source warehouses of wholesale. So if we go back and we click Orchestrate Order, now it looks a little different here. So we need to get 205. Quantity available to orchestrate is 205. So we're going to pick up 190 here and 15 from our retail warehouse. And notice it skipped our services warehouse because our service warehouse doesn't have any stock available in it. You can see that here. So if we click OK now, and we look at our details, you can see that we have these two line items. They've been split up to the two separate warehouses where we're pulling 190 from one and 15 from the other. So that's order orchestration. We talked about two different types of strategies. One is where we're picking a shipping zone. And we have a couple of options there. Either the sales order has the shipping zone designated. That could be through the customer default. We're picking up the shipping zone here. Or our shipping zone itself has states selected in it. So based on the shipping address, it'll automatically pick the shipping zone. Or we have the strategy of warehouse, where it looks at your source warehouse and then it'll start to pick off and search for stock in these individual warehouses in this order. Now, be sure to take a look at our other videos on how to use the process screens to process your orders, to process your shipments, so that you can integrate something like Orchestrate Orders into your shipping plan. But thanks so much for watching this exclusive sneak peek on Orchestrate Orders. If you like the video, please click the like button. And if you have any questions about this or anything else Acumatica, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again, and have a great day.